Welcome back, we are back with an update on Pulsechain. Woo! Pulse land, let's go man. Here, we are primed to pump for a few reasons, right? You might be thinking, well, did you not say that last time? Well, actually, we gave you two options last time, didn't we? We gave you two options. One option, the hopium that we said, was this green line, right? Because we were still trading within this part of the pattern, as you can see here, right? We were trading in there and we were saying we were going to break below and then pump back up, right? As you can see, that's kind of been invalidated now. We broke down right to that level, went sideways and broke below, but not all is lost. Because the second option was we will double bottom at this all-time low. We broke below the all-time low, but we are still trading at the all-time low right now, right here. And we still haven't managed to get above this diagonal trend line, right? Look at that. The lifespan of Pulsechain is contained within this pattern that is coiling up like a spring, right? It's coiling up like a spring. When you coil a spring up, the move gets violent. So there is actually some things that's looking at us going to pump. I mean, over the past kind of couple of days, maybe a week or something, we did have Pulse X having a good move, like 100% move or something. You know, Pulsechain, I mean, look at this move, doesn't it look much? 45%. We pumped 45% in a couple of days. You can see here we've been rejected again at this diagonal trend line. Looks like we could potentially roll over here, create a new lower low and then take off. Right? Looks like that could potentially happen. So we'll leave that there. Okay. Let's look at trading view. Because on the weekly for Pulsechain, see this green dot and this lower momentum wave? The previous times it's happened, you've had a pump. See back here? You had this pump here, back here, had this pump, slight retracement pump. Even on this green dot that is actually on less momentum, you still had positive. See the two green candles? Doesn't it look much, and it isn't much when you consider what we've all been through with Pulsechain. Still a 55% move. The tiny wee green candles there. And I mean, if you look now, we've only just started the green candle now, and the green dot's only just been brought on, and we're deep in the negative money flow here. RSIs have bottomed, yellow VWAP waves heading up. This is on the weekly, right? That's on the weekly. That's massive. As you can see, 4 days looks roughly the same. Roughly the same. Come down onto the daily. So you can see the money flow here is heading back, turning back round, right? So we probably are going to do this, put this yellow line stain, and we're just hoping that it pumps. Like that's what we're hoping for. That's what we've been hoping for years now. So will it happen? Let's check Hex, because the liquidity on Hex is so low now. I mean, it's like I think the Hex and Pulse pool is something like fucking ridiculous. 1.2 million of liquidity on the Hex and Pulse pool. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. So it doesn't take much to pump these charts at all. Come up to the weekly. See, green dot's not even been brought on yet, but it will. See the momentum waves curved back round. It's about to head up. See there, it's clipped on the crest of the wave, just like here. What was that move? I mean, it pumped 110%, had a retracement. So the entire move, if you just held it to this point here, 150%. We're lower in price now, lower in liquidity. And if you take it for the bottom, 150% would take us roughly in the middle of this traded area here. But if it does pump anytime soon, I mean, we will be coming up to the end of that pattern, right? And I mean, we're fucking running out of patterns here. We're running out of bloody patterns. Get what I mean? We've been through this shit. It's time. It's time to pump. So, how long? So time scale, right? How long would that take then for that to play out? Well, take measuring tool. For this point, how much could it drop for this point? That's another interesting point. 35%, could drop 35%, Pulsechain. Could they, I don't know if it will, but potentially it could drop 35% before finding its bottom. And that would take, again, if it didn't break out until that yellow line there across that diagonal line there, 16 days. Wow, 16 days. That's pretty cool. So that would lead us into pretty much when Proof X is launching. Right? We hope. 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. How many times have you heard that? So, literally, could be 2 more weeks for now. Let's have a wee look at X. So I mean, it's the same. Look at the momentum on it. It's fucking dead. Like there is no momentum here. Think of it, right? You've got $1 million of liquidity, $1.2 million of liquidity, and look how flat momentum is. You know, we had like what was that move? On 50% roughly move. On Hex we had just the past couple of days, and the momentum's not even breached anything yet. It's not broke any previous local tops. Wait till you're getting volume spikes like this. See when you're getting volume spikes like that, when it's down here, that's when it puts the price like back up here, because of how low liquidity is and how it's all bonded. So I guess we should check Pulse X. Let's check Pulse X, because you can see we've been rejected on the underside of this trend line, right? And if you go put it against Pulse, you can see it's about to get rejected against Pulse. So probably right now is a good time to be holding Pulse rather than Pulse X, because it looks like, can obviously if Pulse does break down that 35%, Pulse does break down to here, 35%, that would mean Pulse X would drop about 50%. Again, it'll drop more. That's just how it'll go, because of how they're bonded. And that would make sense by looking at it weighted against Pulse. See, that's a big spike. So, yeah, I would say probably Pulsechain and Hex is the best kind of things to hold right now. Incentive. Incentive. I never thought I would see incentive dropping back down to 50 cents again. I genuinely never thought we would see that. But I mean, look how high 200 week moving average is up for where it is the now. It will go back and touch that again. You see how it always checks back in with it again. So many times. 75% move to check back in with the 200 week moving average. So you can see an incentive. Green dot being brought on incentive on TradingView. This is on Market Cipher. You can see momentum's obviously down, money flow, red wave's down, VWAP is heading up, RSIs are heading up, and they're splitting to the upside, so high volatility. Crazy. DBSI showing 19, weighted out to 28, so a lot more volume to the upside. Interesting. Let's have a look at what Bitcoin dominance, 59.49. Bitcoin's at 90k right now. Pretty interesting actually, looking at that. See these spider lines? Look how accurate they are. Nice. 200 week moving average is doing it 66k in Bitcoin. People will shit the bed if that happens. Jesus, people will absolutely be hanging themselves. See, on 3-day, you could be getting the death cross on the 200 week and 21 week moving average. Not that any of this really matters if Richard Hart's been truthful about what he's saying about it being, he cares about our season and this and all that. Like, the thing about Bitcoin, right, on the 2-day, 21 week has crossed underneath the 200 week moving average for the first time in this bull cycle. You see that? Pretty much the first time. 21 week, the yellow line's no crossed below the 200 week moving average since back at here. See, it touched it here and bounced off it. But this time it's actually broke below it. So that's a death cross. Right, so that could imply Ethereum possibly could be pumping or going to pump if liquidity moves, but I don't know about that, I don't know. Kinda looks like this is forming something similar to here. See, they're forming something similar to here or similar to here, where it'll drop back down to 2100 or back to kinda the local low. The thing is, right, look at these. Forget these orange lines. Right, you've got a lot of... If you just look at this point here, and then all-time high. See, we're back in this traded area that we've no managed to break out for ages. I mean, money flow is decreasing to the downside though. See, the negative retracements are getting less and for less time. Money flow looks like it is increasing. The length of this wave, height of this wave looks roughly the same as that. So we could be in for a pump. But yeah, we're on kind of tricky territory right now. Either Pulsechain's got to dump another 35% or we're going to fucking pump to high heavens out of this. So let's check in a couple of days, next Friday maybe, see what happens. The truth is, nothing's really happened different from what we said is going to happen, right? We said it's going to come down here and fucking trade about and hopefully double bottom out of this. So it's either going to do that yellow line, or that, something like that. So let's just leave that shit there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Love you all. Catch you later.